Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Town of Lexington Council meeting. This meeting is being held at Town Hall Monday evening, May 6, 2019. This meeting is being broadcast live and will be replayed several times over the next week on the town's cable information channel 1301 and will also be available for viewing on the town's website. I'm Steve McDougall, the Mayor of Lexington. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you my fellow council members. To my left is Mayor Pro Tem Hazel Livingston.
Good evening.
To her left is Council Member Todd Carnes.
Good evening.
To his left is Council Member Steve Baker.
Good evening.
To my right is Council Member Kathy Manis.
Good evening.
To her right is Council Member Ron Williams.
Good evening.
And to his right is Council Member Todd Lyle.
Good evening.
At this time, I would like to welcome Pastor Jason Williams from Riverbend Community Church here in Lexington. Pastor, welcome. If you would offer an invocation for tonight's meeting.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dear God, we come before you tonight. First of all, we just want to thank you. Lord, we want to thank you for Lexington. We want to thank you for these council members and those who serve our community. God, I pray that tonight you'd help us to act with character and conviction. I pray, God, we would listen with understanding and goodwill. Lord, that we would speak with grace and measure. God, we want to give you honor and praise, Lord, as we meet together because you are worthy. Lord, we come tonight just to seek your help. God, I just lift up the agenda and I lift up the matters that will be presented and talked about this evening. Lord, may you bless and give guidance to what would please you and benefit those who live and work and love our town. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Pastor Williams, thank you very much. Thank you for being with us. At this time, I would like to ask Ernie Arbor if you would come forward and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. Thanks for everything you do, Ernie.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ernie, thank you. I know I sprung that on you, but I knew you could handle it. At this time, I will call the meeting to order. I'd like to report on our executive session this evening. This evening, we had two legal issues, one issue regarding pending litigation and one issue advice regarding agenda items. We had two contractual issues. One was downtown economic development issue, and the other was two issues regarding sewer contracts. We also had one personnel item. It was a routine personnel review. No vote was taken. Do I have a motion to ratify the mayor's executive session report?
So moved.
Mr. Baker makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Kathy seconds the motion. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. The agenda for this evening, are there any deletions on tonight's agenda? Hearing none, we will move right into presentations. Our first presentation this evening is a proclamation read by Mayor Pro Tem Hazel Livingston. Proclamation Runner Safety Week. And Miss Bridget Winston, are you here tonight? Please come join us at the microphone, please. Mayor Pro Tem.
A proclamation of the mayor and council for the town of Lexington recognizing May the 13th to May the 19th, 2019 as Runner Safety Week. Whereas Safe Lexington is promoting safety among the drivers, cyclists, runners, and pedestrians who share the streets of Lexington and will host a 24/7 safety run and walk throughout the week of May the 13th to the 19th, 2019. And whereas a roughly 2-mile route along Main Street, US 378 and SC 6 will begin and end at Radius Church. And whereas Runner Safety Week has a goal of 6,227 miles to honor the 6,227 pedestrians killed across the nation in 2018. And whereas the event hopes to bring more awareness and attention and to begin some conversations about how in our community streets are for everyone. Now therefore it be it proclaimed by the mayor and council that May the 13th to the 19th, 2019 is hereby declared to be Runner Safety Week in the town of Lexington, and that Safe Lexington encourages all businesses to endorse safe running by displaying a message of support during this week. All citizens are urged to increase awareness of runner safety and remember that safety is a two-way street. And Mr. Mayor and my fellow council members, myself and our coroner, Margaret Fisher, and our MAD representative, Kim Cockrell, have agreed to start with this group at 5 o'clock on May the 13th, and I challenge y'all to come out and join us. At 5 o'clock.
I think she just drew the line in the sand.
And to be there in support of this great group of people.
That's
I've met
awesome.
with them several times, and they're working hard to bring awareness to sharing the roads and being safe on them.
Very good. Thank you very much.
So I'd like you all to come
Bridget,
up
we'd
and-
just like a quick picture with you, and then we'll give you some time to talk to us, okay? Yeah, invite whoever you want.
Now they're all of a sudden shut.
Right.
We're all young and on
You're all on the committee now.
That's Yeah.
Squeeze in a little bit more. All this way, yeah.
No, you're good. No, sir. I would never do that to you.
Who are you looking at? Right here, me first? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, shoes off. Safety first. I'm here today.
That was the coroner. That was the coroner.
That is good.
Can we not just screen share?
There we go, perfect. All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go one more.
Thank you all very much.
Does anybody want to speak?
Bridget, if you don't mind, share a few words with us.
Well, we just appreciate your support. We appreciate Hazel's support. This group came together just a few months ago, and in just a few weeks, we've organized this event. Just because we felt like we couldn't waste any more time. We've lost 2 friends, and we don't want to lose any more. So we appreciate your support tonight, and we appreciate your ongoing support, and we hope that this phenomenal response that we've had right away will just continue and grow. So we thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Our next presentation this evening will be a proclamation read by Councilmember Steve Baker. Proclamation for Kids to Parks Day. Mr. Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. A proclamation of the Mayor and Council for the town of Lexington, South Carolina, recognizing May 18, 2019 as Kids to Parks Day. Whereas May 18, 2019 is the 9th Kids to Parks Day organized and launched by the National Park Trust, held annually on the 3rd Saturday of May, and whereas Kids to Parks Day empowers kids and encourages families to get outdoors and visit America's parks. And whereas it is important to introduce a new generation to our nation's parks. And whereas we should encourage children to lead a more active lifestyle to combat the risk of childhood obesity, diabetes, and hypertension. And whereas Kids to Parks Day is open to all children and adults across the country to encourage a large and diverse group of participants. And whereas Kids to Parks Day will broaden children's appreciation for nature and the outdoors. Now, therefore, the mayor and council for the town of Lexington, South Carolina, proclaim May 18, 2019 as Kids to Park Day, and we urge residents of Lexington and the surrounding communities to take the children in their lives to a local, state, or national park and set good examples for Lexington's next generation. Dated the 6th day of May, 2019, Mayor Steve McDougal.
Very good, Mr. Baker. I don't believe anyone's here. That was a national request that we got, so we'll just, we'll send that on to that group. Thank you very much. Our next presentation this evening will be a proclamation read by Councilmember Ron Williams, a proclamation for Safe Boating Week. Mr. Clay Goodwin, are you here?
Yes.
Please come forward and join us at the microphone. Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a proclamation of the mayor and council for the town of Lexington recognizing May 18th to the 24th, 2019 as Safe Boating Week. Whereas millions of South Carolinians and visitors to the Palmetto State enjoy boating on our state's waters year-round, emphasizing the need for increased awareness of safe boating and practices. And whereas boating accidents can occur at any time, whether the water is smooth or turbulent, and whether the water is experienced or a novice. And whereas a significant number of boating accidents occur due to human errors such as operator inattention, failure to follow the navigation rules, or excessive speed. And whereas often these accidents, injuries, and fatalities could have been prevented by implementing safe and responsible boating practices, including wearing a life jacket, being alert and aware, and never operating a boat under the influence. Now therefore, the mayor and council for the town of Lexington, South Carolina, proclaim the May 18th to May 24th, 2019 as Safe Boating Week and support the start of the year-round effort to promote safe boating, dated the 6th day of May 2019.
Very good. Thank you. Vice Commander, if you don't mind, let's take a few pictures and we'll ask you for a few
Absolutely.
words.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, a smaller group.
Vice Commander is with the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary Flotilla 12-3 for Lake Murray.
Yes,
Welcome.
Thank you. And on behalf of the United States Coast Guard and the Coast Guard Auxiliary, we want to extend our thanks for extending this proclamation. It's through efforts like this we hope to achieve our zero boating accidents. So,
Well,
thank
we
you so
certainly
much.
support you, and we hope we get to that zero number.
We are too. It's a
Yeah.
great undertaking.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Mayor,
Mr.
I can
Williams.
add, for those of you that don't know, the Coast Guard Auxiliary actually comes around. You know, I work for boat dealership. They come around and pass out all the safety literature, put it out at in the boat show. We have it out at the Sportsman's Classic. Y'all had y'all's information out. Y'all spend a lot of hours on the lake trying to keep the lights functioning, and you also have the Flotilla Island to keep up.
Yes, sir.
And I know that I think July 28th we're going to do a big cookout at the island to try to pass out some more literature and get some more folks
Oh, we were looking
aware
forward
of
to
what's
that.
going out. And,
Thank you so much.
Appreciate what you guys do.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That concludes our presentations for this evening. At this time, I'll move right into a vision plan update, since I have a great audience that can hold on and wait till I get through with the vision plan update. Because I really want y'all to hear. That's okay, Troy. The vision plan update for May 2019. Ice House Amphitheater is in full speed. We have seen great crowds over the past few concerts. We had over 1,000 people each week for the Lexington Live concerts. Join us as we wrap up our free spring concert series. This coming Thursday will be the band Tokyo Joe, and following them, May 23rd, we will end it with the Root Doctors. Both of those bands will come on stage at 6:30. I hope all of you will join us there. I'm proud to announce that we have another sold-out show. We look forward to having Sister Hazel with us next Friday, May 17th. Just announced, we also are going to welcome country sensation Parmalee to the Ice House Amphitheater stage on Wednesday, July 3rd. Tickets are on sale now for $26 to see a national act. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit icehouseamphitheater.com. Also, the Lexington Wine Walk. Wine down at the Lexington Wine Walk. Raise your glass for a toast and help us beautify Lexington. The 9th annual Lexington Wine Walk on Main will take place Saturday, May 11th, 2019, from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Ice House Amphitheater, located at 107 West Main Street. Local musical sensation, the Going Commando Band, will perform great classic rock, country, and blues hits throughout the night, and some other things that they play also. Tickets are $40 and can be purchased online at lexingtonwinewalk.com or at the gate the day of the event. Ticket prices include a commemorative wine glass, wine tastings, and hors d'oeuvres. You must be 21 to enter, and IDs will be checked. Proceeds from the Lexington Wine Walk will go to the Lexington Beautification Foundation, a volunteer nonprofit organization dedicated to the pursuit of beautifying the scenic and historic community of Lexington. Past projects include the reconstruction of the Lexington Square Park and Memorial Fountain located at Lexington County Courthouse, along with the Lexington Welcome Sign at Sunset Boulevard and I-20. Also in this update is the Market at the Ice House. The Market at the Ice House is our rebranded farmers market. This season starts Saturday, May 18th, and will run every Saturday until September 28th, except for July 6th, which is July 4th weekend, of course. The Market at the Ice House opens from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and the Ice House at the Ice House Amphitheater. The Market at the Ice House, primarily intended as a farmer, grower, and local artisan market that uses a community-friendly atmosphere to promote, support, and encourage local production while educating citizens on the benefits of eating local, fresh produce and supporting local artists and the Certified SC program. To learn more about the market and which vendors will be in attendance, visit our webpage or our Facebook page at Market at Ice House. So I expect to see all of y'all at the Market at the Ice House or at the Ice House Amphitheater for the free events, ticketed events, or the wine walk. All right. Thank you very much. At this time, we will have a traffic update by Mayor Pro Tem. I wouldn't leave.
And then you get to leave. He's gonna give you a break.
My wife was meeting for dinner, you're gonna get me in trouble, Hazel.
Mine's quick, his was long. The Jenny Lane project is near completion with final striping expected in 2 weeks. Installation of a new overhead sign structure is expected to begin by the end of this week. A temporary lane stoppage is expected. This is coming off of 20. But this will occur during nighttime hours. Please use caution traveling through this area. Once completed, travelers from I-20 wishing to access Jenny Lane will proceed to the ramp traffic signal and make a right-hand turn onto 378 westbound into the dedicated left turn lane for Jenny Lane, instead of trying to kill yourself going across all four. The South Church Street sidewalk has been completed, except for grass stabilization. Aren't y'all happy? That's another sidewalk in the town.
Yay.
We are pleased to have this new pedestrian walkway through Woodland Drive and Gibson Road. The next traffic committee meeting is scheduled for May the 15th in the third floor conference room of Town Hall. Finally, if you're aware of any unsafe traffic issues, please contact Town Hall at 358-7273.
Thank you
that was
very
quick,
much,
Troy.
Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you. Now, if you'd like to exit, you're welcome to do so.
Mayor, is there anything, is there, I don't know the agenda, but is there any way I can say something before we?
Absolutely. Come on.
Before you leave,
I'll sit back down.
one, I do also want to show my appreciation for what you all doing, and I know it was extremely hard for Bridget to say anything because of Diane and what went on there. So, but I do appreciate y'all giving us this opportunity and recognizing what we are trying to do. I do expect to see all of you at 5 a.m. along with Hazel that's coming out. But we want to stress that this 24/7 run that we're doing is strictly volunteer. This is not an organized run. We do not have police supervision or anything like this. This is something that we're putting on to try to promote runner safety. So please come out if you would like, volunteer to come out for a particular hour, but this is a run on your own event. You will not be allowed to run at night in the dark unless you have a lit up vest or reflective lights, anything like that, to so that people will be able to see you and the cars will be able to see you. Because like our motto says, safety is a two-way street. We're encouraging drivers to pay attention to cyclists and runners, but we are also encouraging runners to be safe with what you're doing. When I see a runner running at night with dark clothing on, it drives me crazy because he is just as guilty as the driver that's texting and driving. So we realize it's a two-way street. But the run that we're doing is strictly volunteer. Please come out and join us, but it is a run on your own kind of thing, so look out after yourself. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Ernie.
Ernie, thank you for everything you do for our community.
Thank y'all.
Run, Troy, run.
Not till next Monday. See you at 5 a.m.
Very good. We will move right into public hearings. Public hearing speakers are limited to 5 minutes. Our first public hearing tonight is final reading of an ordinance annexing Lexington County Tax Map number 4300-04-181 located at 339 Cherokee Trail. Anyone here wish to speak to that? Hearing none, moving on. Item number 2, final reading of an ordinance entering into a mutual aid agreement with North Myrtle Beach Police Department. Anyone here wish to speak to that? Hearing none. Item number 3, final reading of an ordinance for a budget amendment. Anyone here wish to speak to that? Item number 4, final reading of an amendment to the animal control ordinance. Anyone here wish to speak to that? Moving on, item number 5, final reading of an ordinance approving purchase of property parcel 1. Does anyone here wish to speak to that? Hearing none. Item number 6, final reading of an ordinance approving the purchase of property parcel number 2. Anyone here wish to speak to that? Very good. That concludes our public hearings for tonight. We'll move right into old business. Our first item of old business is from Councilmember Kathy Manis. Final reading of an ordinance entering into a mutual aid agreement with North Myrtle Beach. Councilmember Manis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council, and I am so happy to be reading this one because I will be at North Myrtle Beach at this time, and I'm happy that our police department will be there. The Lexington Police Department is entering into a mutual aid agreement with the City of North Myrtle Beach Police Department. This agreement is for Memorial Day Bike Weekend. The proposed agreement is attached. I make a motion for final reading approval.
Very good. Ms. Manis makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem seconds the motion. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Our next item of old business is from Councilmember Todd Carnes. Final reading of an ordinance for a budget amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The following budget adjustment is requested for the Transportation Department to reduce personal services and transportation by $64,000 and to add to transportation capital outlay $64,000 for a fusion splicer, optical time domain reflectometer, and a traffic management control. No net change to appropriations. I make a motion for final reading approval.
Councilmember Carnes makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Williams seconds the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Our next item of old business is from Councilmember Ron Williams. Final reading of an amendment to the Animal Control Ordinance. Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Lexington County amended its animal control ordinance in January, and the town needs to adopt the changes so they may be enforced in the town limits. The main changes include the following: mandatory sterilization and microchipping of animals impounded at the shelter due to violation of restraint and confinement. Managed intake for owner-surrendered dogs. This allows the implementation of alternatives to immediate surrender of owned dogs by offering service referrals and surrender by appointment. Lexington County Animal Services will no longer accept owner-surrendered cats. This request came from the county. Make a motion for final reading approval.
Councilmember Williams makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Baker seconds the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Our next item of old business is from Councilmember Steve Baker, final reading of an ordinance approving purchase of property, parcel 1. Councilmember Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. The town has reached an agreement in principle to purchase a parcel of property within the town limits. In accordance with the Freedom of Information Act, the property and terms will be identified once the deed has been executed. I make a motion for final reading approval.
Councilmember Baker makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Lyle seconds that motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Our next item of old business is from Councilmember Todd Lyle, final reading of an ordinance approving purchase of property, parcel 2. Councilmember Todd Lyle.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The town has reached an agreement in principle to purchase a parcel of property within the town limits. In accordance with the Freedom of Information Act, the property and terms will be identified once the deed has been executed. Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion for final reading approval.
Councilmember Lyle makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Williams seconds. Any further discussion?
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir. Mr. Williams.
Mr. Cunningham, will these deeds be put into attached to the minutes of this meeting, or will anyone have to do FOIs in order to find out specifically for future reference? If we put the minutes online, could we go back and attach it later, or does it have to be in
You
there?
could do that if you wish, online. That would be up to you, but otherwise, yeah, I guess they would have to FOI it.
Anyone have an objection to attaching those deeds to it after they're recorded in the minutes?
I don't have a problem with it. It's going to be public after that anyhow.
Yep. I think that'd be the best. Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. At this time, we'll move into new business. Our first item of new business is from Mayor Pro Tem Hazel Livingston, first reading of an ordinance annexing Lexington County tax map number 4496-05-042, located at 156, what is that? Excuse me? Giabin? Doesn't look like it. Giabin Drive. Mayor Pro Tem.
Rami and Sandy Nelson own 1 acre located at 156 Giabin Drive and have petitioned to annex the property. A single-family home is being constructed on this site. Properties in town near this one are zoned protected residential 2, and Giabin Drive is classified as a local road. The Planning Commission will review this annexation during their May meeting to recommend a zoning and road classification for this parcel. I make a motion for first reading of approval.
Mayor Pro Tem makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Baker seconds that motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Our next item of new business is from Councilmember Kathy Manis, first reading of an ordinance annexing Lexington County tax map number 3420-01-046, located at 113 Pilgrim Point Drive. Councilmember Manis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Brittany Espi owns a parcel located at 113 Pilgrim Point Drive and has petitioned to annex the property. A single-family home is being constructed on the site. Properties in town near this one are zoned protected residential, and Pilgrim Point Drive is an RL6 road. The Planning Commission will review this annexation during their May meeting to recommend a zoning and road classification for the parcel. I make a motion for first reading approval.
Councilmember Manis makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Williams seconds the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Our next item of new business is from Councilmember Todd Carnes. First reading of an ordinance adopting alternate election years for Town of Lexington municipal elections. Councilmember Carnes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Lexington County Registrations and Elections Commission recommends that all municipalities move their elections to the odd years to avoid confusion at the polls during the busier presidential elections. It also helps them to better address any issues and make the election a smoother process for the citizens of the town. Council moved to the odd years in 2009 and voted to return in even year elections in 2014. Mr. Mayor, I make a motion for first reading approval.
Councilmember Carnes makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Baker seconds the motion. Any further discussion? I will add one thing to this, that the Municipal Association for South Carolina is actually moving to get all municipalities to vote in the odd years, so it's the same across the state. So that was a big reason for us to make that decision.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir, Mr. Lyle.
And if I'm correct, also, was it Lexington County's election commission wanted us to do that as well? Is that right?
Absolutely. They asked us because it was a lot of confusion at the polling places and at their office this past election. Anyone else? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Our next item of new business is from Councilmember Ron Williams, first reading of an ordinance for a budget amendment for the Parks Department. Mr. Williams.
The Parks Department needs to purchase a skid steer cement mixer at a cost of $7,700 in order to complete the rubber walking trail. Also, an additional $400 is needed above the current available capital balance to replace a broken toolbox. The following budget adjustment is requested from the Parks Department. They want to reduce the equipment rental from $4,000 and automotive repair $4,100, and they want to add to the capital outlay the mixer for $7,700 and toolbox for $400. So the net change to appropriations would be zero. Make a motion first reading approval.
Councilmember Williams makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem seconds the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Our next item of new business is from Councilmember Steve Baker, first reading of an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2019-2020 budget. Councilmember Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. South Carolina law requires town council to adopt a balanced budget each year. Budget revenue and expenditures are attached as well as the draft ordinance. I make a motion for first reading approval.
Councilmember Baker makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Carnes seconds the motion. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir, Mr. Baker.
Stuart, how many consecutive years is this now with no tax increases?
28 years.
28 years. Just like to get that on the record.
Yes, sir. 28 years. No tax increase. We've reduced it twice. Very good. Anyone else? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Our next item of new business is from Councilmember Todd Lyle, first reading of an ordinance to provide the fiscal year 2019-2020 tax levy. Councilmember Lyle.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. South Carolina law similarly also requires us as a town council to adopt the tax levy each year, the one that we have not increased. And attached is the draft ordinance for the tax levy for FY 2019-2020. And Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for a first reading approval on this tax levy.
Councilmember Lyle makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Carnes seconds the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Our next item of new business is from Mayor Pro Tem Hazel Livingston, Boards and Commissions appointment. Mayor Pro Tem.
Mr. Mayor and Council, the town has received an application from Mr. Michael Blackwell, who expressed an interest in serving on the Town of Lexington Historic Preservation Review Board, which currently has 2 vacancies. Mr. Blackwell is a town resident. His application is attached, and I make a motion for an appointment.
Very good. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Mayor Pro Tem makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Lyle seconds that motion. Any further discussion?
I'd like to just say, Mr.
Yes, sir,
Mayor,
Mr. Lyle.
I was impressed with Mr. Blackwell's application and his desire to further the knowledge and history of the town. So, very quality looking application.
Yes, we appreciate that. Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir, Mr. Baker.
just like to also put this on the record that we do still have vacancies on boards and commissions, and that we value the applications that we receive from our citizens, and we need more of y'all to get involved.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Anyone else? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Mr. Ford, Mr. Cunningham, Ms. Hildebrand, we had 6 items on the public hearings and only 5 on old business. Number 1 was not transferred to old business. Do we need to go back and redo that? It was for final reading of an annexation.
We didn't call Mr. Hanson.
Mr. Hanson. Thank you. I knew one of y'all would know.
He thought he would not have to come up tonight.
That's why he sat in the back of the room.
We run the advertisement for the public hearing, you have to have 15 days. So I ran it before we canceled the planning commission meeting in April, so it's okay for you to go ahead and have a hearing, and then planning commission will look at it in May and have final reading in June.
Very good. Thank you for the explanation. At this time, we will move into announcements. Announcements tonight are from Councilmember Todd Carnes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Multiple announcements. We'll start off by extending early birthday wishes to our very own Mayor Pro Tem Hazel Livingston, who will be celebrating on the 22nd.
Thank you.
Best of wishes. Enjoy. Quarterly Coffee with a Cop will be held at the Haven, located at 121 East Main Street, tomorrow from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Please come out and enjoy these events with our local police officers, chaplains, volunteers, and our community partner will be there, Lighthouse for Life. It's excellent. National Peace Officers Memorial Day is May 15th, and law enforcement officers in Lexington County will hold a special ceremony on May 14th at 9:30 a.m. at the Lexington County Law Enforcement Monument, which is right in front of the courthouse right here on Main Street. The mayor will read a proclamation declaring May 12th through 18th as Police Week in the town of Lexington. We would like to thank the Lexington Women's Club for providing blue ribbons to be placed on lampposts on Main Street in memory of all fallen officers, and to also honor the many men and women who currently serve our community each day with courage and dedication. Everybody please come out. Number 4 is the mayor mentioned in Vision Plan update, Lexington Live. We got Tokyo Joe on Thursday. We have been selling out, so everybody please come. Root Doctors on the 23rd, the Wine Walk this Saturday, 6 p.m. in the Ice House. And it would be a great birthday gift for the Mayor Pro Tem if everybody would come to the market at Ice House on Saturday, May 18th from 9 to 12 a.m. Everything is revamped. We have music, we have fun, we have a whole new set of vendors, and so we're going to utilize our new venue. You guys please come out and buy some fresh produce and enjoy the morning. The market will be going, as the mayor said, all the way from May 18th through September. Several town boards will meet in May. The advisory committee will meet on May 21st at 6 p.m. The planning commission will meet on May 22nd at 8 a.m. here in the council chambers. If you would like to get involved with any of these, please go to the town's webpage. And everybody, please remember that we have significant boards and commissions here that are all volunteer driven. And so we would love for you to participate with us in helping us make our town better. Council will meet again on May 20th, 6 p.m. for council's work session in the Eli Mack Room. Town Hall will be closed for May 27th in observance of Memorial Day. And that is all I got, other than want to give a shout out. We got the River Bluff High School soccer team girls playing for Lower State tonight against Wando. Beat Wando. Take them down. We wish best of luck to our town administrator, Britt Poole, his daughter's playing, and everybody else at River Bluff. Bring us home the hardware. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Carnes. Anyone else have anything they'd like to say?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Ms. Manus.
This week is Teacher Appreciation Week, and I hope that everyone will let the teachers, not only all over the state, but in Lexington District 1, how much we appreciate what they do every day. And it's also Nurses Appreciation Week, so Hazel, be sure to thank your daughter and Mayor, your wife, who are both nurses, for what they do, and especially your school nurses, Nurse Salters and Nurse Kynard. They see my son on a daily basis and do a great job taking care of him. So thank you, teachers, and thank you, nurses, for what you do every day.
Thank you, Ms. Manus. Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir, Mr. Baker.
I'd just like to recognize my mother-in-law. She's here this evening from Colombia, South America. Me gustaría reconocer a mi suegra, Elsie Ordóñez. Gracias por venir. We just thank you for coming. So, thank you.
Welcome. Anyone else have anything they'd like to share? Very good. Questions from the news media? None with us tonight. Public comments. Are there any comments from the public regarding tonight's agenda? Anyone here wish to speak on anything on the agenda? Very good. That concludes our business for this evening. Thank you for watching the Town Council meeting for the Town of Lexington. This meeting was held at Town Hall Monday evening, May 6, 2019. A recording of this meeting will be aired on the town's information cable channel 1301 several times during this week, and the video will be available on the town's webpage, lexsc.com. Without objection, we are adjourned.